What's up? What's up? What's up? How are we doing? Welcome to another day, another stream, and another market absolute capitulation. There's a bunch of reports coming out that internationally there's some shenanigans potentially going on. So if you're curious what the heck it is, from my assumption, I'm going to say, based on the timeline from about, little bit ago, it looks like that is one of the reasons that the market is down. But while the market is down, we're going to try to bring your spirits up by doing a stream. One thing before we get into it, which is like, this is like the worst way to ever start anything. Like the way that they tell you to do things is like, come up with a hook and then like keep them engaged and then go from there. And we're not really getting to the purpose, the point, or anything. We're just saying the market's dead and you're going to be more joyful soon. True. Well, one thing, again, if you guys do happen to have any friends that are in the Web3 space, would love for you to share the stream with them, and we just kind of get growing more and more, and we're trying to do these streams a little bit later. I've found that once we get around like 3, 4, 5 p.m., seems like we got a lot more people that are active. And one thing, if I can ask for suggestions and whatnot as well, and feel free to DM or leave comments afterwards, is I'm trying to figure out how to do streams a little bit longer, because right now we're doing about 30 to 40 minute windows, and Xander always makes fun of how quick they are, and same with Hoonsy. They're like, all right, is Schiller going to go under 30 minutes, over 30 minutes on this? And realistically, it's just, I want to have this where it's a rapid fire news session, but also I understand that there's games and there's probably a lot more that we could do where we could hang out for like the entire day. Imagine that. And also, if you guys are wanting me to interview anybody, whether it be on the RWA SegMints Podcast or somebody here on stream, feel free to make any suggestions and I will see what I can do to make that happen. So today, we're actually going to be bringing up CyberKongz for a unique reason, looking at the prices around that and something that they're known for. Ultimately, we are going to be giving some story time of I guess like one of my other gigs outside of the Web3 space, and I'm going to need some suggestions and help with that. I'm going to go over some of the posts that I've made on the timeline. If you do follow me on X, thank you so much for doing so, and we are going to reflect on all of that. So what's one of the reasons why we do this stream every single day? Well, think about how you learn about history, whether it's books, movies, word of mouth with people that have lived certain experiences. But when we look back on the time within Web3, if tweets are deleted, how are you going to find that? If certain subjects aren't really talked about or highlighted or easy to find, it's going to be tough. And thinking just for a minute last night, I was at like 10:13. I was like, man, it's a really weird thought that, like, theoretically, 50 years down the line, people could look back on the tokenization beginning of everything and look at this time frame and see what we're doing. And that's a really, really cool thought. Start small, and then you get bigger. Hopefully, documenting crypto and NFT daily happenings for years brings fun and excitement to those looking back at this time in history. Yo, Tito's, what's going on? And this is the big component, too, is when I talk about, like, niches and everybody kind of vibing with certain people, like, there are a lot of other people that are doing something similar to what I am, but listen. Do we always vibe with everybody else? Nah, but are you and I always vibing? Hell yeah. And so I wanted to go way back down memory lane, because Mr. Stately Wayne Manor said, JVB, you're muted. And this comes from a classic clip back in the Zed Run days. So a little bit of a history. Back when Bored Ape Yacht Club and NBA Top Shot were around its peak time, one of the other ecosystems that were really, really thriving was something called Zed Run. It's where you were able to buy horses, you were able to breed these horses. People went down this breeding tree, tried to create science. They had blogs, they had podcasts, they did all of these crazy, crazy things to try to get the best runners within it. You've seen where Nikola Jokic in the NBA is a huge horse fan, right? Gets in the horse races and all of that. This was that opportunity, but clearly a lot of us probably can't own a farm, be able to afford a horse, put it in the races, hire everything, right? So the digital component of it, hell yeah. And there was people that got massively into this. And then one day, back in the day, I was doing a stream with JVB, and I said, my man, all I needed to do is call the raise. So here's JVB back in the day calling the raise. You talk real loud here, boss. JVB, you're muted or something. I can't even hear you, baby. JVB, you're muted. He can't hear us. I missed it! No, I missed it! I know! Oh no! So that was basically it. But JVB, man, this guy was into it, giving everything he had, not knowing that like he literally look at him. He dressed up for the occasion, and I think we only did like 1 or 2 races, but what an absolutely wonderful memory. Hey, Corbin, what's going on? They don't need a document. They just need to rewatch all of your streams from the beginning. Imagine sitting there. I've thought about how there's gamers that now have a like 24/7 channel of just themselves, right? And I'm like, man, would that be weird if we had like a 24/7 live stream? Well, yeah, I guess it's a live stream of just replays of all of these streams. That would be really weird. I don't know how the hell you would get that much footage to be able to download. It would probably take absolutely forever, but maybe one day. And so on the conversation of having these historical components, I was going through my phone because I've like screenshotted things at different points, and I'll try to post more stuff because I feel like I have just a bunch of random stuff saved. So at some point, Ethereum was at 2,300, Polkadot was at 43, Polygon, which when the hell did Polygon have like a blue logo like that? I really don't recall. Refinance, Beam, Atari, back when Atari had a token, Dragon Chain that was supposed to be Disney, Bridge Mutual, which was my first kind of sort of big mistake, thinking, hey, decentralized insurance, that sounds like a brilliant idea. They're still around under like DN for decentralized insurance, but and then Umbria Network, which earlier, before MetaMask and all of these wallets, sites, applications were built, there was not really a deep bridge as another example. Umbria was a way to get from ETH to Polygon fairly easily. And back when Zed Run was a thing, I think there was conversations around they were going to potentially be like the official bridge for that. And we are back at those prices after the last 24 hours. Dude, it's crazy. Like the cascade is really, really insane. So if you guys are just joining a little bit late, again, welcome. The understanding that I have is there was something that international headlines are making news, and that's one of the reasons why crypto is absolutely cascading right now. Obviously, we're in a volatile market, but if you don't know, that is why. Now, in particular communities right now, there's a little bit more people on edge, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I've gotten hit up more in like a 24-hour time frame than I have in the past like 24-ish hours. And the overarching question, Schiller, what's the vibe? This is my answer.
This is it. Don't make a move, Smee. Not a step. My finger's on the trigger. Don't try to stop me, Smee. I'm not a game. This is it. Don't try to stop me this time, Smee. Don't try to stop me this time, Smee. Don't you dare try to stop me this time, Smee. Try to stop me. Smee, you better get up off your ass. Get over here, Smee. I'm coming. Smee, this is not a joke. I'm committing suicide. Don't ever frighten me like that again.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm some kind of a sadist.
I'm sorry. How's you feel now?
I want to die.
Oh, no.
There's no adventure here.
You call this no adventure?
Death is the only great adventure I have left, Smee. Come on.
So I posted this yesterday thinking like, man, I love Hook. This is like one of my favorite movies. I watched it. It was on Netflix like, wow, a month ago. And I was like, wow, I remember this as a kid, but I don't remember this being like that funny or anything under the sun. So I post that trying to be like somewhat humorous. I'm getting hit up like, bro, are you okay? Like, I'm like, yeah, no, we're chilling. Sorry, my apologies. But if you haven't seen Hook with Robin Williams, it is an absolute classic, as is this Inter Miami winning against New York FC for Zip. So one of the things that I do on occasion is doing play-by-play color commentary for a sports team. And it's not been like a very like strong start to the season by any means, But like last night, the game was about 95% possession for 5% or to 5%. And like we were the 5%. And I'm not going to lie, like it is very hard to spin things in a good way when you just like don't ever have the ball. And if anybody's got any tips on how to handle that, I am all ears. Yaquim, fancy name. The crypto versus non-crypto asset mindset should be eradicated. The lines we draw today will vanish as fast as they appeared. I completely agree. And I think everybody that's within the space and is like try to come up with like a thesis of how this is all going to go like mainstream and the projections for all of this stuff is like the lines are going to just like, we're not going to call it crypto gaming. We're just going to flat out call it gaming. Sure, there's going to be a segregation to like a point, but it is with Corwin, in quotes, if you don't have the ball, you're not hitting the post. There's my positive spin. That's a good one. Over time, literally everything will be tokenized. We're already seeing this with stocks, prediction markets, real-time events, even memes and ideas. But here's the real question. What's the point of tokenization if it doesn't unlock more flexibility? A stock on chain is neat, but a stock on chain that can be posted as collateral, borrowed against, or integrated into a portfolio-wide margin system, that's the next layer. That's generally transformative. There's a whole lot going on here, but you kind of get the point. And so yesterday when we dropped the episode of the newest RWA SegMints Podcast with Ben Elvidge, towards the end, I was like, why pay attention to crypto? And here was his answer. Attention to what's happening in the crypto industry.
In short, I think it is going to be the financial infrastructure of the future that drives all of our society in terms of whether it will start in finance, but it will also move to ID and verification. And certainly so, people need to pay attention to it because there's huge opportunities out there, but I don't think people will notice that society is running on blockchain in the near future, in the not too distant future.
Oh, the lines are going to get hidden. Hey, not bad. From Walter Bloomberg here on X, the Senate panel to hold taxation of digital assets hearing on October 1st. We have been hearing the narrative around US-based cryptos not going to be taxed. I don't know if I believe it. I really don't. Maybe that's why the administration's all about, oh, we love crypto. Yeah, we love crypto. And they're going to make us love it more if they do that sort of thing. I mean, the bigger component with this is like, let's say hypothetically that does happen. What does that look like for the globe? Is everybody else going to match that? Because if you look a couple of years ago when I first got into the industry, there was several people that I knew that were like, we're moving to Portugal because the tax treatment is more favorable. And obviously that's dependent, right? Like if you're somebody that's like a smaller fish, it's maybe not that relevant, but if you're somebody with a lot, then you look at, the tourism industry. Well, actually, I don't even want to call it like crypto tourism, because if you're trying to move somewhere that's not like tourism, but it's like, I don't know the right word for it. But very, very big news, and maybe even on October 1st. That's just a couple days away. Man, September absolutely flew by. It is September 25th. You know that? Do you know today is the 25th? Unbelievable. We looked at that earlier. Azuki, okay. Listen, I kind of been like somewhat negative around Azuki for, I think, reasonable reason, okay? And I've always thought like it's looked cool, but for the original episode that they launched regarding the Azuki show, I was like, I don't really know. Like, and I think the problem with it is that like they set expectations so high of, hey, we have like all these mega producers, writers, these are like absolute legends within the anime industry, and then like I'm watching it, I'm like, I feel like I'm not really like that invested with it. However, maybe that's going to change, because look at this announcement. Holy smokes. Anime.com is building the world's first interactive anime streaming platform. No ads, no subscriptions, just free anime to watch with your friends. And we've been on here just screaming and swearing about, man, if you want to watch this sports league, you got to pay the monthly subscription fee. If you want to watch that league, you got to do this. This is over here. You have to pay for the local cable if you want to watch anything that's like somewhat local because of the regional restrictions and the blackouts. And you're just like, what's going on? And then you think about, all right, well, so we got Netflix, we got Crave, we got Disney Plus, we got Crunchyroll. I mean, like all these things just add up, right? $20, $30, $40, $50, depending on what it is. Just bang, bang, bang. Everything's costing so much money. But I guess you can watch anime for free if it's on there. Corwin, wait, no ads, no subscription. So where is the monetization to keep that going and cover the back-end costs at least? I'm assuming it's something to do with the token, maybe just getting awareness for it. It's a very good question. Let's read a little bit because I've seen the headline and saved it. Let's see if we can do a little bit of research, Corwin. Good thought. The first episode of a brand new anime series will premiere live on anime.com in less than 2 weeks. What starts with one show will be the beginning of our growing catalog. Anime.com is powered by the Anime Token. Fans across the world can purchase officially licensed digital collectibles from their favorite IPs, show them off in chat, and build out their Anime.com profiles. Together with the community, we're building the next great anime platform. Follow Anime.com and stay tuned for details on the premiere. It's time to take anime live. So again, all these brands, what have we been screaming about forever? You come on, do these digital collectibles. Yeah. Obviously, there's like work with creating it, but you don't have to worry about any of the physical delivery. You have distribution. Bunch of people are going to make those profiles. Check it out. Holders of the token. It's going to grow. Free. Well, here. So, Corbin, we haven't been able to answer your question just yet, except for the aspect of the token and then people buying the digital collectibles of the show. But Johnny sharing this post from Anime News and Facts says the world's largest anime piracy site has surpassed both Disney Plus and Crunchyroll in monthly visits. So, like, the illegal stream for anime has done more than Disney Plus and Crunchyroll in monthly visits, which, if you don't know what Crunchyroll is, it's basically like the Netflix, but like dedicated exclusively for anime. The unknown website, 364 million, Disney Plus 343 million, and Crunchyroll 125 million. So imagine what that sort of looks like if there's 364 million people that go from the piracy site to just going to anime.com. Oh, brother, that is a large audience. So we've been talking about the experimentations of things, and I feel like I've rarely been pretty vocally bullish on something on the stream. Like, one of the things I try to pride myself with, and you guys bring up all the time, is, we do this show and we're trying to not, this is making me feel sick. Not being biased or anything, not really trying to shill anything, and just, talking through the motions and whatnot. But a theme that I've conversed about and I've been building this thesis is that everyone within the NFT communities and collectible space, we're all like the same people, right? That have found an interest in this digital world. But the problem is we're all in our own communities, and very rarely is there a reason that we both say, hey, woohoo. It's usually more of the tribalistic look. So what the hell is going to bring everyone together? And I've been asking that questions, and in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe it's the other side. Maybe it's one of these metaverse platforms. Maybe it's, I don't know, rallying around a cause of some sort. And with TokenWorks having all these NFTs of every notable collection getting put into its own token, that's kind of this big bringing everybody together for like the bigger cause of keeping the NFT floors and the narrative and the excitement and all that kind of stuff together. I don't know. I'm paying attention to this big time. The TokenWorks, the Punk strategy, the Meebit strategy. We're seeing a whole bunch of stuff being developed on there. I really think it is worth paying attention to. Roar, what's going on? Did you tweet yesterday like we talked about? Because I feel like you didn't. That security reminder, Roar, what are we doing? I said you got to put that on the timeline, and I'm ready to see it. Hopefully you did. Listen, if you did, we'll go check it out. So I posted that I got 3 of the Disney Pinnacle sets completed, and I want to say that I think that they weren't like that expensive comparatively. Like when you have to get like an individual one, you buy like a pack, it's like $20 or $30 and you get like 5 of the 6 depending, or 4 of the 6. And then within the store, there's like one that's maybe $7, $9. They're all different, whatever. The point being, and we've highlighted Disney Plus, do you think that there's a rhyme or a reason to collect these now if Disney Pinnacle ends up becoming the de facto Disney platform moving forward? I don't know if I'm going to buy that many other ones. I saw that they posted within their Discord that they are having a Goofy one that's coming up, I believe. And the store's showing that it's like a $70 pack to buy. And they don't have to do anything except make a couple of the characters into these digital pins. It's Pluto. Excuse me, Corwin. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. Not Goofy. It's Pluto, the character from Disney. And they're going to make absolute bank on it. They're going to make infinite bank. It's going to be crazy. So we heard from Doodles the other day where they made a comment saying that they're working on an AI to help scale, crank out Doodles themed content as quick as possible. And Sam Bankman-Fried did the good morning tweet the other day. His friend was like, yo, it's not SBF, it's me, his friend. And everybody's like, all right, well, that's cool, I guess. But then Doodles had within their exact style back when SBF was going to trial, essentially. And like, damn, if that's actually what their like AI program is doing, that is, oh my goodness, that is super fire. I love to see that. Curious what else we end up seeing. Luca Nets from Pudgy Penguins. Take a listen.
I walked into Warner Music Group just to discuss a potential partnership. You know, on the music side, actually, Pudgy Penguins wants to get into music, believe it or not.
I mean, if you think about like every brand, right? I mean, Disney got into music too. I mean, anything that finds success, right? They're going to have these revenue. They're going to have all these different options. And that's where we get to the arguments of what do you kind of want to look at when you're getting within the NFT space right now. Are you wanting to go and try to have some kind of exposure to what's going on within the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem? Are you wanting to go and pay attention to what's happening for like the newest collections or the newest mints? There's going to be so many different things, and people are going to, you know, gravitate to whatever they are or whatever they're interested in, because everybody's got a different niche. But the fact that we're continually seeing like just massive announcements coming out, and I mean, this isn't even an announcement. He's just saying, yo, I'm walking into Warren and we're going to see what's going to happen. But it's very cool that we're continually seeing attention being brought in different ways. Roar, the tweet about verify bots on Discords that I don't trust and can hack people. Well, I didn't tweet, people won't believe me, but I tweeted about what Web3 gaming brands are losing by not making games that work. Listen, Roar, that's W. Listen, you let him know, buddy. So Finn, responding to this, saying, this is insanely massive news, by the way. This is basically as if Google acquired Coinbase. So Naver, one of South Korea's largest corporations, to acquire Upbit and integrate it into a super app for trading, payments, and daily living. Okay. Pretty big news in the international front. So I saw this post when Vic was saying the Wall Street Kongs have delivered on their alpha. And I brought it up the other day, but I feel like I didn't really give like a good job of trying to like show anything regarding CyberKongz. So this was one of the collections that was actually before Bored Ape Yacht Club back in April of 2021. And you can see that there are 1,000 of these CyberKongz. And how it worked was they gave banana token each day for these CyberKongz. And at one point, if you had a CyberKong, you were making like $1,000 a day because the token, you got like 10 banana a day, and a banana token was like $100, which is crazy because you think about the other day how CyberKongz had that Kong token that was distributed. It is not the same. And we're continually seeing different pivots from different teams. But CyberKongz also had the largest land plot within the sandbox and a lot of really, really cool things. But within their Discord, they had Wall Street Kongs, which if you had any kind of asset within the CyberKongz ecosystem, you were able to just get access to that chat. And it was basically like having a, alpha chat where people gave suggestions on, hey, maybe this is good to get into, maybe that's good to get into. But I mean, if you're looking at the prices, so for like the top tier within the CyberKongz ecosystem right now, it's about $11,000. Holy smokes, that's a lot, right? But then you go down, they're one of the collections that had the companion collections and a lot of the side ones. So the baby CyberKongz, you go from 11,000 down to 1,300. Okay, wait, listen, what? That's not too shabby. And then you go down to where they have their VXs, which is supposed to just simply be their avatars within the ecosystems, and then those are going for $60. So you have all these tiers for all of these different collections, and look at that. You can walk around in the metaverse as a CyberKong. Is that something you want? Do you want access to the alpha chat? Do you even have any funds that if you were in an alpha chat to allocate anything to, you could? See, these are the questions we have to ask. In my opinion, Pudgy Penguins is a Super Mario-like in the beginning with no soul. Look, it's just penguins. It's fun in games, but it's just that. Roar doesn't like the Pudgy Penguins. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yo, shout out to Mega Fluff. I was actually sort of like featured in this, which I wasn't really expecting, but let me play this clip for just a couple seconds here, and then I'll show their rendition of me.
Future verse family, I feel your doubt. I hear your fear. The silence grows heavy. Whales depart. Tokens fall. Even our allies stumble. Their migrations delayed. Their paths uncertain. The ground shakes beneath us all. But remember this. In Fluff world lore, the Brotherhood once shattered. The Dark Seeker betrayed.
So it goes into like a little bit more of explaining the story and whatnot. And within it, like, I don't know if you've ever seen that photo of like Lariba that I don't know where the hell they made it, but it's like me sitting on the ground with like a headband or whatever. And I guess they like recreated that. Dude, that is wild to see like a rendition of yourself done by another artist. Would absolutely recommend. This is like a caricature you'd get way back in like the fair as a kid. But yeah, I was like, that looks cool. I love that. That's really, really neat. That's good art. Yo, Roy, I like that you like it. Corwin, that was me. I chased the membership mints to access alpha. And then once I was like, I'm just getting depressed since I can't act on any of this. Yeah, it's tough. Well, there was somebody that had a server back in the day. I forget who it was. Oh, never mind. I remember now. And I think it was like 0.3 ETH or something like pretty high. And I joined it being like, okay, I'm ready to see the alpha. And within like 2 days, I'm like, there's literally no alpha. Why is this membership the cost that it is? It made absolutely zero sense. Funny little video here from Get Rich Nick.
They told us that it could not be done. AI-powered smart contracts built through machine learning-backed liquidity pools. Let's clap it up for that.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get it to reload. So he's at some like crypto event and he's just like, this isn't a serious pitch, but I don't know if the crowd like understands who he is.
And that's why today, I could not be more excited to announce that we are considering potentially, maybe, actually launching a token. Let's go, everybody. Let's go. You have the power to use our chain to earn XP and click on random things that may, I can't say it, may result in something big happening financially in the future of your life.
just giving her out there, eh? Absolutely unbelievable on that front. Yeah, he's the Choose Rich Nick guy. Yeah, you got her. It's weird because if you think about earlier in the year, there was so many different moments that he had like kind of went like super viral, and I feel like it's been not as active, but when you see him on the timeline, it is pretty funny. So Fadika, if you guys were here when we did the super long NFT history lesson, if you go to the live stream on YouTube, if you didn't see it, I think it was like a 4-hour stream where we just went back and looked through history of NFTs, and how we did that was basically through Fadika. So I actually canceled my membership on this. Friggin' expensive for some of these tools. Holy smokes. Back to the membership thing. I'm going to be an anime.com maxi if they're actually giving out some free stuff here for people to have their enjoyment. He's the Hawk Tua fanboy. And so with the fact that the membership for this is running out, I thought, hey, you know what? Let me bring this back up, because one of the features with this, and if you're somebody who's followed a ton of people and you want to kind of clear out your following, see what your following looks like too. I mean, if you're a content creator, you're trying to get statistics, this is one that gives like a little bit more of an insight, to the point that it even like suggests what people that follow you jobs are, which I don't know how the hell they can figure that out, but you can test it, or excuse me, filter it, where you can go for inactive accounts and then ones that have not posted in 6 months. So Crypto Poppy, who is a part of the Pirates of the Metaverse, it seems like, I don't know if anything's happening with that. Howlers is another one that I'm not sure with. Plato, I don't know. I'm really just doing this because I need to like unfollow, because there's too many. So Wagme United's the soccer team that ended up not working. Alcedia is the F-Render Metaverse. John Watkins, co-founder of Larva Labs. So the people that created Autoglyphs, CryptoPunks, Meebits, all that stuff, they haven't posted since 2023. Imagine, think of the people that have came into Web3 and like done something, or I guess just like done something in any fashion, and then just like peace out at a point. I feel like even if I didn't like hold anything within the crypto space, I would still be like somewhat active, or watching people, or involved, or just, you know, trying to still be present. Very, very weird that some people have just decided to completely check out. But I mean, it is what it is. Music Tech Forbes 30 under 30. I am not sure who that is, but they haven't tweeted since earlier this year. Spatial.io, 3 Game Hubs with, I don't really know half of this stuff. All right, we're gonna be absolutely ruthless, because I have no idea. Kid 8, I actually interviewed. He's an artist for a pretty decent sized NFT collection. I don't know if anything's going on with that in a little bit. On Cyber was see, this is the problem. We go into this, and then I'm like, I'm not showing the visuals, and then we basically have to like redo the stream. But like On Cyber was a place where you were able to just show off your collectibles and stuff within like a metaverse sort of deal.
So if you do this,
should we do this alongside you, Wary? Everyone open up the studio.
Yeah, actually, that's a great idea, Munchie. Yeah, if anyone would like to, please do. Yeah, it's exactly.
So you can see some different things that people are doing. I have no idea why the heck that it's not been around. I don't even know if I want to like unfollow, because we're like trying to educate and see. OpenSea Pro, that's just not even a thing. I think it moved into something else. Mogul Productions, where movies meet Web3. Thinking back, I really regret that I haven't better documented some of like the weirder happenings when they occurred, because I just thought like, all right, well, that was weird, but I don't really remember all the finer details, because Mogul Productions, I did some recording or something with them. I don't think we did a live stream, but I was gonna like publish a video, and talking with them, I was like, I don't know if this makes like a whole lot of sense, but it's early, right? People are trying to figure out how to bring the Web3 aspect to different industries, and that one was being all about film. Yep, and some may be lying dormant, like a Bitcoin wallet for 12 years, and then suddenly it's reactive. Do you think there's space for Web3 in the movie industry? I did think the concept of what Stoner Cats did, where again, they had like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, and then a lot of other big celebrities, and they had like a couple of episodes. I think the concept's really, really cool. The problem is that when they did that, the gas fees for Ethereum were awful, and they didn't really have a mint that was not in a gas war, which caused like a lot of angst, a lot of problems and whatnot. But I think generally speaking, like the way the Doodles did it, I loved, because Doodles did a pass where you could buy it for like $6 and then you get access to Doodles TV, which was, so far they've only released 1 episode, but again, it's not super expensive. You have a thing. They have the other collectibles on the side if you want to buy into it, but it's not a requirement to pay a lot to, you know, view a production piece of some sort. Premint, the allow list platform. I guess everybody just decided that wasn't needed anymore. I remember pre-mint being used for a ton of different mints, but I guess they've pivoted, or the technology around it no longer a thing. X Spaces, I didn't even know that was a account on there, but that doesn't exist anymore. The Red Rex app. This one I remember the interview very vividly. There was 2 different people that got on a call. They shared their screen to show off the app, and we'll see if this is still, it is. Build next level communities, fostering Loyalty with plug-and-play tools, all one suite. What? Maximize reach with PFP staking. What? Nah, hold on a second. I need to like... Red Rex Schiller. Did I have any videos about them back in the day? Yeah. Okay, look at this. Nah, that's unbelievable. Okay, this is why we need a document. Okay. My mind's short-circulating a little bit, so excuse me while I'm trying to get out this thought. So this was something that was completely different. So as we're looking at it, this is talking about like staking profile pictures and all this kind of stuff, right? That's very like Web3-esque. And then you go over here, and the title of this, Red Rex, a Web3-enabled Zoom, a replacement for Discord? How did that go into a staking platform?
Well, we started to kind of go, hey, we need a concept that is very simple. And one thing that we hate about every other platform, doesn't matter what platform it is out there, nobody wants to remember a 12-digit hexanumerical code to find somebody and talk to them online. Like that's just, nobody remembers that. And so trying to find a way to do that, we needed something simpler and a little bit easier. So we said, why not just do buildings? And that led us down an entire rabbit hole of kind of the simplest way to organize exceedingly complicated data we could come up with, which is buildings, digital locations.
Okay, so again, we're talking about, the title says a Zoom replacement for Discord. He's talking about getting into different buildings, and now they're doing PFP staking. See, it's very, very confusing. But if I can get through here, I think they show more. But like, here's like a workflow.
The only one who can allow me access, and I'm put on a little 10-minute anti-spam, so I can't just...
So again, they have like all these chats off the side. There was some sort of deal where you could buy certain like areas and locations if you wanted to, and so they were going to like NFT-ify certain things. And I remember at the time being like, this is like kind of sort of odd, because like we're taking like just normal buildings and like trying to tokenize them to put them, or not even tokenize them, excuse me, because I don't even know if that was a component for it at the time. No, it was. Because I think you had to purchase the building, and then you could get, like, rooms for it, and they were trying to, like, do, like, entire cities. It was, like, the concept is, like, sort of interesting, but, like, why? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's why. Yo, Steph Pseudo, NBA Top Shot streamer, long time no see. Kara Holiday, that is the person that won the Mega Mutant car. Tales of Valeria, haven't seen that. Yo, there's Stoner Cats right there. Token Proof, empowering the brands behind, or brands to connect with their audience through the power of token-based appearances. The Nate Chastain, that was the guy who went to jail because they like sold or bought NFTs before it was put on the OpenSea front page. What a world. What a world. The Genie NFT aggregator. Oh, the Possessed. This was super strange. So on the cluster of NFTs that theoretically could have been something, let me remind you of the Possessed. So when you look at this, it's kind of got like that Doodle-ish type of vibe, but very, very edgy of sorts. They got 152,000 followers, which again makes me feel like it's super botted. But then for the characters, like the idea of it being like possessed was that it was like normal, and then some of the parts would come across and like look, in quotes, possessed. So I think the concept was like sort of neat for it, right? Like here's one with like a mushroom cap. But I haven't seen anything about that in forever. However, they did post earlier within this year, which is very interesting. Yo, 888 crypto. We talk about people that like came in the space and then like just completely dipped out. This person sold so many different NFTs, and I don't think any of it went anywhere. And bada boom, bada bing. Chris Hartwick, if anybody watched The Walking Dead back in the day when he used to do the Talking Dead after the streams, that was phenomenal. Again, the whole point of us doing this is to unfollow people, and I know that I've not I've not done that at all. The Neopets metaverse, that was a thing at the time. Smiles, that was a different NFT collection. Origins, I don't remember what Origins is. The internet company, Metaverse. With a heavy heart, we have made the incredible difficult decision to sunset Origin operations, including our trading software and Discord server. I have some other thing about pivotal updates, but I guess we will just leave that as is because I do not remember. Gassed out. We did the video of this. So I realized that I tell the same stories a lot. And so if you're a very frequent watcher of the stream, thank you for dealing with that. But Gassed Out, we've told or reminisced of one end of the year, which I think was in 21 or 22, like the end. I think it was 21, like around the Christmas, New Year's time. Gassed Out and a ton of other tokens were just getting launched. And for whatever reason, it was the meta. They went crazy and then basically died a week later. And Gassed Out was a part of that. So there's your nostalgia kick for the day if you were a part of that. Tales of Illyria, that's a game, zoo, TV show, universe, a community-driven and royalty-enabled NFT marketplace. I just simply don't remember that. Misfit U, not going to go down that list. Angry Boars, here's another NFT collection. Every time I look at these, think, if you saw this on your timeline today, would you go out and mint it? Now, you know, because it's not active, that like the collection isn't anything anymore. But what do you think about the Angry Boars? Is that simply the alpha in of itself? Watchers. This was a big game from Ubisoft. No, not Ubisoft. Oh, they changed it to the Watch. Oh, okay. So yeah. Never mind. That still exists. So, excuse me, they just had several different opponents to it. Azerbala, that one's a doozy. Da Vinci is actually great. I have an interview if you type in Da Vinci Schiller verse or just Schiller on YouTube, and this guy dances on me in terms of NFT knowledge and like exact stuff. He's done crazy threads. Kind of sad almost to see him not be around as much. Ghostly Ghost, nothing. The Gray Boys, that was a part of the NFT land. What was it called? No, NFT World. And then they've switched it to Hytopia now. But Gray Boys DAO was one of the NFTs that was supposed to accumulate a whole bunch of funds to be able to put it into something else. This watch game launched or was about to. TrueCon was a lot hyped on it. I mean, it looked pretty good. Like, it seemed like the perspectives, the vibe of it, all that kind of good jazz. Crazy Lizard Army. Look at this. Mint or don't mint? I think these went up like pretty crazily because they said, oh, you're going to get dragons, which you can see like what the dragons sort of look like. And I guess it's sort of neat, but also, I don't know. I don't know why it ended up getting so much attention. And then we'll just hold on. Let's find another one here and then we'll wrap it up. If you guys got any questions and whatnot, happy to have them. I'm really bad. This is the problem. When I say I want to stream longer, because I do, but then like I get super distracted because I know just staring at me looking at X accounts probably isn't that great if I'm not talking. Well, I have to multitask and think. Oh, Hall of Fame Goat Lodge. Where's one that we haven't talked about? Oh, eternal.gg. Okay, so this is relevant because we've been talking about the example of movies, Web3, how you can join it. Well, this is something very similar where Eternal was one of the first platforms where they tried to collect stream moments. So let's say that you clipped a funny moment and you're like, Schiller said something funny. That's funny. It's not that funny. But you take that and it gets put on the site and theoretically people could go out and buy those stream moments. Now, the first thing you're going to say is, why the hell would I buy a moment from Schiller's stream? That's a very good question. But for argument's sake, ignore that it's me. Think that it's somebody else. We got big fans. People are like, listen, I want to pay for whatever this person does because I have to have I get to keep this digital collectible. Eternal.gg was a marketplace that I thought was actually going to get attention. Like I really, really did, because they started signing a whole bunch of different streamers. So like as an example, I haven't looked at this before, but like for their Flash Challenge, International Day of Friendship, they have a couple of different streamers that are highlighted on there. You can see within this, the FC Ballers, which was a league that incorporated different NFTs where You can see the Bored Ape Football Club. It's like BOIC's. Knights of Degen, which was an NFT collection that doesn't exist anymore, but it was built around sports fans. I'm not sure. Oh, Aoki was, I think, like Steve Aoki, the DJ's Metaverse squad, whatever. Kingpins, I think that this was Gutter Cat Gang. But they did different releases on there, and then you can just kind of go through and you can see that there's a whole bunch of different people and things that were going on. But then, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing ended up happening with it. But that's an experiment, right? And that's why I keep saying everything that you're seeing out here on the timeline and in the Web3 space is an experiment. So just realize that as we're navigating. I have a question. Why doesn't people in Web3 unite all together and fade all the Web3 game brands that don't do games that work, are fun, competitive, and skill rewarding? Like if they don't try to at least like Illuvium with their arena, fade all the rest until they at least try. Well, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question? Well, first of all, it's going to be really hard to get everybody to be motivated to like strike against every Web3 game, because then your argument kind of boils down to, I think this studio doesn't do something well, but I think this one does. Where you could talk to another person and they have the complete opposite, where the one that you like, they hate, and the one that you hate, they like. And then the other component is people are trying, right? Like there's definitely people that are trying to take advantage of certain situations for sure. But I think more often than not, people are trying to experiment and find a career in something that they love. If you've always wanted to get into game development and you've never had that opportunity, and you know, traditionally, all the other realms, like going through the Web 2 side of things hasn't really worked. Hey, Web 3, it's a little bit easier to potentially get funds. And the experimentation, maybe forgiveness, we have a chance to go. I mean, like as an exact example, I think the Solana mobile phone, I'll see if I can bring up the post here, but they just made some sort of comment about how if you're a developer, you can reach out and here it is. We're excited to announce Solana Mobile Builder grant programs running alongside the Coliseum Cyberpunk Hackathon. We're sweetening the prize pool for teams that bring mobile into focus. Up to 10 teams will receive $10,000 in builder grants for mobile-focused dApps. So, I mean, if you're starting out, you're trying to get something, I mean, how often does that sort of situation come through? Now, with that being said, is 10,000 really even like a lot to be able to do, right? Or is that, hey, we're going to give you a little bit of funds, and if your stuff's good, we're going to launch to us, we're going to help push things for you and make you successful. But yeah, that's it. Listen, that's it. These streams have been super fun as of late. Again, if you do happen to have any friends that are in the Web3 space, you want to share the stream with them, just let them know, yo, this guy goes live, talks about some of the random stuff. That'd be appreciated. Any likes, comments, shares on the stream as well. Roar, Corwin, scrolling back up here because I'm trying to remember. I think there was another one. NT Doge, yo, what an absolute powerhouse on the stream today. Hope you guys have an absolutely phenomenal day. Tomorrow is Friday. Share Schiller's stream. It's the best one in Web3. Yo, Roar, yo, beauty. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Peace.